Okay, I'm back, everybody. We're excited to get started. I'm going to go ahead and get the webinar started. This is Isaiah Colton, and I'm a sales and marketing expert. I got 15 years of experience with sales and marketing in real estate, over 10 years. I've had an opportunity to train and coach literally the top, some of the top 1% agents across the country, many of them on the Wall Street Journal's top 250 list. And I'm going to share something really exciting with you today, what I call how to generate 100 inbound calls in one day from your database without actually making a single cold call. All right, so without actually making a single cold call, and I'm excited to actually present that information here to you today. So we're going to just literally give 30 more seconds and then go ahead and get started. Okay, all right. Just actually, my moderator and then also a couple other people. Can you guys hear me? Okay, just give me a shout out if you can hear me. Do a chat, so on and so forth, so we can go ahead and get started. And then I got an exciting announcement to make. Okay, all right. Waiting for a shout out. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys? Okay, great, awesome. Thank you, Kelly. You're the best. All right, so I got an awesome announcement to make. I'm going to go get my slides here going. One of the things that we do every single week that we run these webinars, the people that hop on with us, we'd like to do giveaways. And last week we did a giveaway, and we're going to do another giveaway again this week for 10,000 GeoLeads. Our winner last week was Alan Daniel from Remax. So I want to give him a big shout out. He actually won our 10,000 Geo Lead Challenge. So Alan, if you're joining us this week, I don't know if you are or not, but we're actually going to be sending those over to through an Excel spreadsheet, and you'll have those probably within a week or so. So congratulations on that. And we're going to be doing that again this week. So if you stay to the end of the webinar, you're going to be entered to win. Only if you stay to the end of the webinar, you're going to be entered to win 10,000 GeoLeads. Now, I want you to know that every single one of you are also going to get 24 what I call home seller secret postcards, and you're also going to get 24 home seller secret videos, complimentary, absolutely free, just for hopping on this webinar as promised. So no matter what, stay to the end. You're going to get something either way. We really, really appreciate you joining the webinar and kind of diving into it. Like we're going to be talking about sales and marketing because it's the most important, in my opinion, it's the most important topic in our business. Let's face it, if the revenue's not coming in, if we don't have enough leads, we don't have enough leads converting, it's really extremely hard to hit our goals. And same thing if you're your team leader listening, it's the same thing. If your people don't have enough leads and those leads aren't converting, then it's really hard to hit the team goals. And so the whole goal here is to go over one strategy of many that I teach, but one strategy of many that I teach in which you can actually stop having to chase leads all the time and actually generate somewhere between 50 to inbound phone calls, depending on the size of your list. If you got a bigger list, it could be more, smaller list, a little bit less. But the goal is to generate 5 to 10 listings from this simple campaign for under $300 in marketing costs. Okay, so it's a really simple but powerful campaign. I'm going to go over with you here on how to do that. I'm going to go really quick, so make sure you're taking copious notes because I'm going to move fast. Okay, if you have comments or questions, chat with me. All right, and Clara, my moderator, if I'm kind of in the middle of the sentence, feel free to respond to those questions along the way. Okay, so how does this all work? Right, so here's the deal. I don't know if you guys ever felt this way, but when I first opened up my brokerage, which I'll get to my story here in a second, I felt a constant tug between finding the balance of spending money, time, and energy on lead generation, and then actually making sure that those leads converted. And I don't know about you, but I often feel like the guy that you see on your screen here, who's about to kind of fall off the cliff, and he feels like this heavy weight is being pulled because lead conversion just seemed like this monstrous task, right? And so kind of going throughout my journey, what I realized is that, yes, lead generation is really, really important. It's something that you got to have leads coming in, whether it's through your SOI, your referral database, whether it's through geo-targeted leads, whether it's through FSBOs and expireds, internet leads, whatever it may be. You got to have leads coming in. But what I find is that in today's world, it's not just the lead generation is not our number one problem, because there's a lot of ways to do that. The number one problem that we see is actually lead conversion. And so this webinar, my goal is to convince you that the reason why your business is either not where you want it to be, or maybe you've already achieved great results, but you're looking to go to the next level. The number one, I guess, strategy that's going to help you do that is having an effective turnkey sales and marketing system. Okay, it's not marketing, it's not sales, it's marketing and sales coming together in a turnkey process that maps out in extreme detail exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, right? And who should do what and what tools to use. And you can follow that game plan every single day, okay? And so we're going to go through that. We're going to also talk about some other really cool stuff and just a little bit about my background. Where I came up with this sales and marketing strategy was actually kind of out of my own struggle, if you will, because I opened up, prior to me opening up a brokerage, I had a strong sales and marketing background. But when I first opened up my brokerage, I was spending like $10,000 a month on leads between myself and my partner. And I was the CEO, my partners were in the trenches, and it was my job to figure out how to make the business money. I had to do it. And so I thought my problem was lead generation, then I realized quickly it wasn't. And then once we figured out how to actually implement a sales and marketing plan in conjunction with different strategies to generate leads, our business exploded. And we actually created, we had so much business coming in, we had to create a referral network. And that referral network grew 1,500% in 3 years, and put one of the divisions of my company on the map as number 308 on the Inc. 500 fastest growing companies. We moved $5 billion in closings just on the listing side alone. And my story kind of starts out, that's kind of like the highlight of it, but where I come up with a sales and marketing strategy is actually part of a bigger, kind of a deeper root. I know we all have different, we all came from different environments, different economic backgrounds. I definitely came from a poor background. I grew up in the country. There was, my dad tried his best, but there was literally times where I didn't know where my next meal was coming from. And you're like, Isaiah, you're probably thinking, Isaiah, what does it have to do with sales and marketing? Well, I always had this mindset that I had to find a way to do more with less, because it's just how I grew up. And so I went on this journey to find a vehicle where I never had to go through what my kids, I never wanted my kids to go through what I went through. And through that journey, basically what ended up happening was I came across this idea of marketing and sales, and it intrigued me. The psychology of it intrigued me. And the whole thing really was kind of started exciting me. And I got really, really good at it. And pretty much from the age of 23, I ended up starting my first company. I ended up taking those strategies and consulting for 2 other companies, and they had a ton of success. And then I decided to actually apply those skills to real estate, and then kind of landing on where we are today, where I have several different companies. I have a rehab and investment company. I have a local brokerage that we continue to grow. And I also have a technology and marketing firm called Real Estate Nexus. And Real Estate Nexus essentially offers a combination of database marketing, prospecting, and lead generation retargeting, all designed to go in conjunction with a sales and marketing plan. And basically, the point I want to kind of get across here first and foremost is I want to ask you guys a question. Has anyone ever signed up to a lead generation program, right, and thinking that what was going to be taking to the next level, and you were severely disappointed in it? Has anyone ever had that problem? Give me a shout out if that's ever been you on this line. You've signed up to lead generation program, and the leads just didn't convert exactly how you thought they were going to convert, right? And really, at the end of the day, you started questioning, should I continue to do this? Am I getting the ROI? And that's the question we have to constantly ask ourselves. I got yes, D. Yeah, D says yes. Yep. Clara says yep. Jeannie, same thing. Yep. And it's a common thing, right? Same here. And so one of the things that's so important. Yep. I'm with you, Richard. So one of the things that's so important in this process when we're actually looking at lead generation is to make sure that what we're signing up to is part of a bigger plan, because it's easy to get caught up. There's so many different services out there. And I was one of those guys when I first started my brokerage. I just started signing up to everything and trying to figure out what was working, what wasn't. And it's not necessarily, sometimes you got to take some risks, right? It's a little bit of trial and error, but at the end of the day, you got to get an ROI. And like I mentioned earlier in my story, I realized quickly that there was such a fine balance in just focusing on the lead generation and actually focusing on lead conversion. And I actually have a ton of case studies I want to share with you today about this very topic of how important, what your most precious asset is. Okay, so I want you guys to really tune in what I'm about to ask you. Okay, what is your most precious asset you have in your business right now? What is it? Okay, is it the leads? Is it is it you? What is your most precious asset? Okay, and I asked this question to Ben Lang, and I want to tell you a little bit about his background. He ran a successful team for a long time. Him and his wife decided to separate, unfortunately. His world fell apart suddenly. Most of the team, because of all the chaos, left him. He ended up starting from scratch. And he decided to bring me on to be his client or to be his coach. And I asked him that same question. And I go, Ben, what is your most precious asset? How are you going to rebuild? What is the most precious asset you have? He goes, well, the most precious asset I have is me. I go, okay, well, I wouldn't disagree with you on that, but besides that, what is it? And finally, after kind of just talking it out, I said, Ben, the most precious asset you have, whether it's 200, 300, 1,000, or 5,000, the most precious asset you have is your database. And I go, Ben, let me just prove my point. I go, Ben, how much would you sell your database to me for? Right? And he had a database of over the years of roughly around 3,500 people in it, between internet leads and leads he's kind of aggregated and pulled in, past clients, his sphere, the whole thing. And he goes, I don't know. It's a tough question. I go, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000? What would you sell it for? I wouldn't sell it for anything near that. And I go, okay. Well, can I ask you another question then, and without being rude or upsetting you? He goes, yeah. I go, why do you continue to spend all your money on lead generation then and not focus and have a strategy on actually a sales and marketing plan to actually work your database? Why are you neglecting it? Like it's a redheaded stepchild where that's your go-to is you think to rebuild your business, you got to go launch 3 new lead generation programs. He goes, well, yeah, that's a good point. Right. And so I go, Ben, so here's the thing. Let me give you a strategy. Just let me share with you what I've done and what we can do for you, and watch what happens. I'm going to tell you Ben's story here in a little bit, what ended up happening as a result of the 100 calls in a day campaign we're going to go over here together. But there's 3 main things I want you to take away. There's 3 main topics that we're going to dive into right now as we speak. I'm going to share with you the key components and what you need to do to establish an effective turnkey sales and marketing system that you can use every day, every week, every month to build and scale your business. And then we're going to dive into 100 calls in one day. I'm going to teach you how to, within 30 minutes or less, launch this campaign to send a shock to your database. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a 7-step sales process that has literally made me independently wealthy. Okay. And I say that humbly, but it's done that not only through me in sales, of developing a skill that literally would get me listings almost where I would know if I had a listing over the phone before I even went out. But more importantly than that, I was able to teach this 7-step process to people across the country that now pay me anywhere between $10,000 to $25,000 to coach them on an individual basis just on this one process. All right, so we're going to go over that. So I want to start off with the sales and marketing secrets number 1, how to build an effective sales and marketing strategy. Let's define what it is first, okay? A sales and marketing strategy, okay, is actually a plan for how you're going to reach, engage, and convert targeted prospects with this, and turn them into a profitable customer. And the key word is profitable, because you can definitely get sales, but if it's not profitable, yeah, okay, it's great, but it's got to be profitable too. It's the charter that guides the marketing and sales in the daily activities. So it goes over the daily activities that need to be done to present unique value for your business and outlines what to say, when to say it, who to say it to, how to say it, and depending on the sales and marketing strategy that you use. So that's what a true sales and marketing plan is. It's not a business plan, folks. Okay. And that's the first thing when I ask if people do you have a sales and marketing plan? They're like, well, I have a business plan. I go, okay, great. But how are you actually going to execute on that business plan on a daily basis? Right. And if we're being real about it, like, we all know we're supposed to send videos, right? How many times have we, give me a shout out if you've ever sat in on a training and, I love these answers. So I just clicked back, spent money. Spears, your top. Yeah, that's your number one. I love it. Your number one asset. Absolutely. But give me a shout out or shoot me a message if you're like, if you actually, let me go back to the next slide. If you're in a situation where you've developed a business plan, but then frustrated because you actually maybe didn't execute it on the way that you wanted to. If you've ever run across that problem like I have, give me a shout out if you have. So what I'm about to share with you, as you guys kind of respond to that, I'm going to share with you what helped me grow 1,500%. Okay, I went through a 1,500% growth rate, and a lot largely to do with the strategy that I was going to share with you. And by the way, this is an important point. Without any outside capital, okay, literally starting from scratch. So I'm not one of these companies, that came in, they raised a bunch of capital for their brokerage or for their business. Okay, that wasn't me. This was all based on organic hard work and applying the sales and marketing strategy that I'm about to go over with you right now. Okay, so as far as the key components to it, this is the number one thing, guys. Okay, here's your sales and marketing funnel, and I want you to start thinking about maybe your database right now. Okay, and I don't know what it looks like if you have a one CRM you're operating out of, but the keys to the kingdom, so to speak, or the keys to making this plan work is identifying where the biggest problem areas are first. Okay, so if you look at the sales and marketing funnel and you look at your leads coming in, you look at all the leads coming in, right? Most of us that are listening to me right now, they don't have a problem finding a lead source. Now, how good it is, yeah, you got to find, some are better than others, but generally speaking, there's some good lead generation sources out there. And then there's our sphere, which, by the way, I think we probably neglect. A lot of us neglect more than we should. All right, and so you have the leads there. You got the leads at the top of the funnel, right? And then you have the middle of the funnel. You got the bottom of the funnel. And here's where I've seen, out of everyone that I've coached, trained, and done this webinar for, where I've seen the number one problem exists in our industry, okay? And that's the middle of the funnel, okay? Statistically, most agents will spend money on generating leads and only call it or touch it maybe twice, right? And the thing is here's what I want to share with you, okay? Real estate and business it's a contact sport, okay? So meaning, like, I was a linebacker in college, and I want you to imagine how successful I would have been as a linebacker if I didn't know how to tackle, if I didn't know how to make the right contact, right? People would laugh me off the field, right? I wouldn't be a starter, that's for sure. I wouldn't have been an all-pro linebacker, that's for sure, right? If I didn't know how to tackle. And that's really what I see is all across the country, the epidemic is we're playing football, right? We're saying that we're a linebacker, but we don't have a system and process or the best form to know how to tackle. And that's the middle of the funnel. And that's a combination of marketing efforts and our responsibility as sales professionals to make sure that those leads convert, right? And so that's what this plan is all about. So high level, this is the components of the plan that you need to look at to make sure that you get that middle of the funnel activity so your leads actually convert. So your database converts, and then we're going to dive into the 100 calls in one day strategy. So if you guys are with me, all right, if I'm not putting you to sleep and you're paying attention still and you're with me, give me a shout out, give me some encouragement here. It's a lot of, these are kind of weird to do sometimes because you can't really actually physically interact with somebody. So give me some energy back. Say, look, I get what you're saying, and let me know that you're there, guys. Okay. So key steps to the sales and marketing strategy. Thanks, Claire. I appreciate it. All right. So keys to the next to a step-by-step sales and marketing strategy, building it. Okay. fundamentally, got to have business goals. You got to know what you're doing. Thank you, Jeannie. Appreciate it. So you got to know what your business goals really are and why you're setting them. Okay. Within that, thanks, Dee. I appreciate it. All right. Appreciate it. So within that, one of the problems that I see is that we try to go after too many niches at one time. And without getting into a real long story, this is one of my strengths as an entrepreneur. I'm very creative and innovative, but also too, sometimes it's easy to get distracted and trying to go after the next thing before we actually mastered one thing. And so one of the things that I found out, or that I learned the hard way, is not going up to signing to too many different things at once, or trying to pick too many different niches at once to master, but really honing and focusing on the niches. And there's an old saying that goes that the riches are in the niches. And so that's a huge part of your plan. So outside of your sphere, what are you going to master? Is it 4-7 enters and expireds? Is it Zillow leads? Is it Facebook leads? What is it that you're going to master that you're going to hell or high water commit to over a 3 to 6 month period to mastering of you taking responsibility of the middle of the funnel with an awesome new and unique plan that we're going to approach it and tack it with a lot of cool tech and automation, right? But taking responsibility that we're going to do that. What niches are they, right? And another big mistake that people make is they don't take that time to identify what unique value propositions that they're actually presenting to the sellers or buyers that they're listening or that they're trying to work with. And folks, I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but here's the deal, okay? When you're talking about unique value propositions, and I ask these questions to my clients, I say, hey, what makes you different? Why should I work with you over the next agent besides that you're the best, right? Or besides that you've done more transactions? Why should I work with you? And you'd be shocked at the answer that I get, right? Sometimes I get, well, I'm a great communicator, right? And I work really hard for my clients, and those are all good answers. Or maybe they say, well, I have awesome photography. Those are all good answers, but it doesn't really make you unique because there's a lot of great, hardworking agents out there, right? So you got to have something different. And I'm going to provide you some examples and how to do this, but it's got to be something different, something that really sets you apart. Some of the top producing agents across the country are phenomenal marketers, and they pick 1 or 2 primary unique value propositions, okay, that it will catch your attention, and then they have a couple that are separate that are not just to catch attention, but to help service the client and feel more comfortable with them working together over the long haul and actually landing the deal. Okay, so we'll go over those a little bit later, some examples of that. The next biggest problem is most of our clients with their sales and marketing plan, your database is all jacked up. And I mean this in the most respectful way. If your database is in more than 3 places and you're not constantly you don't have a process to manage your database and to take, get it off Excel spreadsheets, get it off to, get it off, the pieces of paper you have around your desk, or maybe you're functioning out of Zillow and you're functioning out of Follow Up Boss and you're functioning out of this CRM and that CRM. You gotta consolidate your database, okay? And then there's some really cool tools I'm going to share with you, some resources I'm going to share with you on how to actually do what's called a detox, where you can actually clean your database. Because just because the leads are sitting there doesn't mean they're good leads. You got to get the right emails and phone numbers and keep it up to date. And that way, without those kind of fundamental things, it's very hard to ever get lead conversion to work the right way. You can spend a ton of money on lead generation, but if that foundation is not set, okay, in place, you're going to be wasting a lot of money on leads, all right? And then, of course, you have the lead generation, the database aggregation. I recommend, depending on where you're at in your business growth, will you be getting these slides? JB, that's a great question. Yes, we're actually, for a period of time, I will provide the slides as in a follow-up email, okay? So you will get these slides. Very good question. So then as far as the database aggregation, don't pick too many niches that you're trying to work on at one given time, all right? Just pick a couple. And then from there, hone in on making your database smart, okay? And how you make your database smart is a couple different things, all right? You gotta have a strategy for how you're working the top of the funnel leads. Then you gotta have a strategy for how you're working the middle of the funnel. and you got to have a strategy for how you're working the people that are warmer at the bottom of the funnel. I'm going to teach you how to do that too. And this is one of the most underutilized pieces of technology out there right now. It's called artificial intelligence, and that's actually ranking and scoring your database using third-party artificial intelligence, so you know what leads are not tire kickers and what leads are actually worth working and staying in touch with. I'm going to show you how to do that too. Okay, and then making sure you're tracking your metrics. Okay, so a good sales and marketing plan, you'll actually have part of your system or process, whether it's a physical journal or whether it's something online. You're actually tracking how many calls you're making. You're tracking how many people are you're making contact with, how many people you're turning into appointments, how many people you're converting off of what type of lead source. Okay, I'm going to show you I'm going to show you a way to do that simple. Okay, in a simple fashion. You got to be doing that, and then also I want to give you a recommendation where the sales and marketing plan breaks down is 3 reasons. It's either the people that are actually following through on the plan, or the process. Okay, the process you're using, right? Maybe the scripts, the dialogues, the time management, execution, the execution of the plan, how consistent you are with your process, or the actual tools that you're using. Very rarely will you not have success. It's almost impossible not to make a healthy living and to build and scale and become independently wealthy in real estate. If you can figure out how to have all 3 of those coming together, people, process, and tools, you'll win in a big way. And that's kind of what the sales and marketing plan does, and make sure that they're all functioning together. And then if you have a weekly check-in, right, a daily check-in, and just following through and seeing where you're at with your daily plan, that's essentially the fundamentals, having those things come together. Now, I've seen businesses put together these complex sales and marketing plans. They're so in depth. Literally, this can be a 2-page write-up, folks. Right? Just a 2-page write-up. And I have a template I'm going to provide you, and that you can kind of plug these things in. Right? You can plug in what you're doing, when you're going to do it, what tools you're going to use, so on and so forth. You can go right down this checklist, so that way you have a plan of action. Okay? So that's kind of the fundamentals. And once you have that in place, you can start doing all kinds of fun, awesome stuff. And that's why I talk about it first before I get into the 100 calls in a day campaign, because these are the fundamentals. These are important parts, really the secrets to why I was able to have the success that I've had, and my clients do too, is because we focus on database first. Our most precious asset is our database, right? And I want to give you an example of this. So 2 of my clients, Suzanne, who wanted to master Force Advantage and Expireds, okay, and then Jordan, also same thing, both in the same niches, both hired and both had some experience with an ISA, all right, but some experience actually working FSBOs and Expireds, but actually not a whole lot. And they were doing it a little bit themselves. They also hired an inside sales associate, okay. And if you're hiring a person, right, it's kind of expensive, so you gotta make sure it's going to work out, right? And so basically, what I told both of them, I said, here's the deal. It's great. You're going to get some low-hanging fruit. No matter what you do, you're going to land some deals. But if you want to get 20, 30, 40 transactions a year working for Advantage and Expireds, all right, you got to have a sales and marketing plan specifically tailored towards them. So what we did is we set up a process by which we identified 3 unique value propositions for Suzanne. Jordan kind of didn't take my advice, by the way. He just kind of was a little bit stubborn in the process. But Suzanne did take my advice, and she applied her 79-point marketing plan template that I gave her, a communication guarantee, and a flexible advantage program, completely separating herself. So when she's having conversations, when she's going through scripts and dialogues, overcoming objections, she really made herself stand out. And then what she did is we set up a turnkey text, email, postcard, and direct voicemail campaign. So after she spoke to them, there was a rock solid multi-channel. Okay, I'm not talking about drip campaign, folks. I don't mean to be rude about it. Drip campaigns are good, but if you don't have a multi-channel marketing approach, working in conjunction with you personally following up, okay, you're not going to ever generate the results that you're going to want. Okay, that's the trick. It's the multi-channel marketing approach. And then what we did is we worked on our messaging. Okay, we talked about it's what I call the 3S system. Okay, and the 3S system is it's a simple messaging that process of messaging that you can use at any point of whether you're doing a text, whether you're doing email. You can use this psychology, and the psychology comes from testing 42 different postcard types and sending out over 1 million postcards. Okay, is where this messaging came from. And basically what it does is it says the first thing you want to do in anything that when you're trying to get somebody's attention, the first thing you want to do is talk about some successes that you've had, or a recent success that you've had, something that's catchy, right? And then what you want to do is talk about some of the secrets behind your success, talk about what you did to get that success, and then show off some of your services. Okay, so it's success, secrets, and services. So I'm going to give an example. Let's just say you wanted to shoot a video, all right? And you wanted that video to go to your database, and you wanted to help do maybe a just listed, just sold campaign, or just get your name out there and generate some action to your database, and just do a simple video. You could say this: hi, hey guys, my name is Isaiah Colton here. I just wanted to talk to you about this really awesome listing that I had on the marketplace through a phenomenal family on 1234 4th Street. We listed it. They were concerned whether they're going to be able to get the price we want. Not only did we get the price they wanted, but they were able to sell it in record time for more money, and it was just a really, really smooth process for them. And I just wanted to share with you one strategy if you're thinking about selling your home that I used with them to make sure that the home closed in a timely fashion. And then you just give them a tip. Like, it could be about making sure their kitchen's nice, or it could be about making sure that they're, any tip. Now there's 24 topics that I'm going to give you in these videos by staying to the end. They're the 24 most important topics that people want to learn about. So I'd recommend using one of those 24, and then from there, going into a call to action, saying, and that's how I got their home sold. And here's the thing: if you're thinking about working with me, I have a unique 79-point marketing plan that I'm going to use to I can help get your home sold to. And I'd love to set up a discovery meeting with you. Feel free to reach out. Now imagine how simple is that, right? Not complicated. And you start using that in all your different forms of marketing when you're communicating as a general structure. And here's the thing: I want to break it down a little bit different, and then I got to move on for the sake of time. But the whole idea is the hook, right? Get their attention, tell a story, and then make an offer. And if you do that, right? And if you notice the psychology, how did I get you to join my webinar, right? I had a strong hook, real strong headline. I gave some value up front to a lot of you that hopped on the line, right? And then the offer was the webinar, to join the webinar, right? So it's very simple psychology, but it's extremely powerful when it comes to your message and when you're communicating, all right? And maybe you're saying, Isaiah, I don't know why I need all this, because most of my business is referral based. I get my business off referrals. Why should I do this? If you're referral based, even more of a reason why you should do this. Because I can promise you, if you don't have a sales and marketing plan and a strategy and a system that you're following every day, you're missing out on a ton of referrals too, right? Tons of referrals. It's even a bigger reason to do that. Do this and get it set up. And here's the thing: if you're aggressive and you're doing things outside of your referral base, even more the reason why to do it, because statistically, most agents waste 70% of their marketing dollars, wasted, because the leads are just sitting there in their database. Literally, I have a client, he's got 10,000 leads. And I asked him, when's the last time you actually set up a sales and marketing campaign and plan to convert those leads? And he goes, Isaiah, that's why I'm coming to you. And I said, okay, I respect that. And I said, let me ask you a question. How many times do you or your team actually call those leads? Well, maybe twice, maybe, right? And so think about how, by not having a step-by-step system set up, how much money is just flying out the window, right? And so take the time to do it, and that's what I think you're going to get excited about, because it is simple to do. I'm going to show you how simple it is to do. But I want to get a secret number 2, okay? Make sure you're taking notes. Feel free to ask questions along the way, all right? And once you have your database, you got everything in order. Even if you don't yet, you can still pull this off, but it won't be quite as effective. All right. But I want you to generate inbound phone calls. I want to show you a way, literally in the next 5 to 7 days. Okay. I want you to launch this program, and I want you to get a ton of business out of it by following my strategy here. It's called 100 calls in 1 day, and you can set it up in 30 minutes or less. All right. And so here's how it works. All right. Here's how the program works. And quite frankly, I think to really get the full idea of the program, I want to let you know where this program came from. This came from me actually needing to take my own advice. I pulled a report one day, and I was disgusted with myself, to be frankly, because I saw all these leads in my sales team. You know, I'm like, what? Look at all this action in the database. How can we get some action out of this, right? What can we do? What can we do? And so I started looking at different case studies, and I said, you know what? Let's try this idea. And we ended up generating 300 inbound phone calls, okay, and about $50,000, okay, in GCI, what would be equivalent to GCI, off of this campaign. Now, here's the thing. Because of my broker-to-broker referral program that I run, I have a huge database. I have a giant database. So my numbers are going to be big, right? So, but you can still do the same thing and get really, really great results, okay? And so the first step of this is, and what I'm teaching all my clients right now how to do, the first step is you got to come up with something that's valuable, $100 to $200, maybe $300. And what you want to do is actually make it a giveaway. Okay, so my favorite giveaway is like an iPad, or if you want to do something that's very neutral, okay, you can do you can do like a Yeti cooler. I don't know if you ever heard of Yeti cooler, but they're really popular. I really don't care, but people love them. They love the Yeti coolers, and so you can use those as giveaways. But you got to have a strong giveaway, and you got to have a reason why you're giving it away, right? So what you want to do is in a 60-second video. What you want to do is let your audience know, okay? Let the people in your database know that you're doing a giveaway on Thursday, and they have to, if they call in between 1 and 4 on Thursday, they're going to get this Yeti cooler or whatever the giveaway is, and then all they have to do is answer 3 questions, and they're going to be registered for the giveaway. And the reason why you're doing it is to bring attention to whatever your cause is. If it's a local charity, or right now, it's to say thank you, in my opinion, right? Given everything that's going on in the world, you want to give something back to your database to say thank you and make something fun, giving everything that's happening with the coronavirus and everything happening, right? That could be the reason why, right? And then you just simply let them know, hey, look, I'm doing this giveaway. I want it to be fun. Make sure you call in between 1 and 4 o'clock to register. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, 3 simple questions, just to enter you in to win. And we look forward to interacting with you and registering. We hope you win. So it's a really short video, which, by the way, I'm going to provide you with the script for. And then what you do is you email that video. Okay, you send a text. You do a ringless voicemail. You can do some Facebook posting or an ad if you have access to ads. And then what you can do is make sure that you give them on the video a couple important things, and in the email you give them the exact times to call in. You let them know what the 3 questions are. And then it's really powerful, by the way, if you have a check down for a giveaway. So right now you can't do it because a lot of us are quarantined, but the check down can be like maybe like some restaurant gift certificates or something like that, where if they didn't win, you could check down to having a prize, or I'm sorry, like the gift certificates, or maybe it's apparel. But the goal is to try to get all the people who didn't win, if they're interested in real estate, to come to your office. Okay, so having a check down. And then basically what you do is you stagger out the emails, you stagger the social media posts, the ringless voicemails, and the texts throughout the week from Thursday to Thursday. You stagger it. And then what you do is from 1 to 4, start taking the phone calls, okay? Just to let you know, per 1,000 leads you have in your database, you're going to get about 3% of them to call you off of this, believe it or not. Okay, if you do it the right way, you're going to get 3% of them to call you. I've seen up to 7% per 1,000. All right, So the bigger your database, obviously, the more opportunities you're going to get to call. But no matter what, even if you only got even if you have a smaller database, I still want you to do this, because what it's going to do, it's going to create a buzz. Because you're going to go live on social media, making the announcement. You're going to announce the winner on social media. You're going to blast it through your database. So you're going to create this buzz. So and I give you an example going back to what happened with Ben when he did this. Okay, so Ben did this campaign. And he ended up generating, he had about 3,000 people in his database. He generated over 30 inbound phone calls. He asked them the 3 questions. And the questions are, by the way, can I get your name and information? Next question is, hey, just out of curiosity, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell in the near future, let's say within like 3 to 6 months, okay? And then the third question is, if you're looking to build a team, you can ask this question too. Who do you know who's interested in a career in real estate, right? So those are the 3 questions. It's very simple. And so what ended up happening with Ben, he got calls from people he hadn't talked to in years. In years. And what's so exciting about the strategy, why I get passionate about it, not only what it's done for me, but he actually generated $600,000, okay, in business from this campaign. And here's the thing, it doesn't feel like a sales pitch, because it's a giveaway. It's fun, right? And you get a chance to call in. And is everyone going to be ready to go right away? No. Well, you have to follow up with some leads. Yes, but you have to do that with every type of campaign you do, right? And so really excited for Ben. And I want to give him a shout out if he's on here listening, tuning in. Ben, you rock. You're awesome. I'm glad you had success with it. And Ben's making a recovery. He's building his business back up, and I'm excited for him. So, and that's what this campaign can do for you if you do it the right way, right? And so I know, like, maybe you're like, hey, is this going to work for you, right? Well, I don't know what to say in the messaging. I'm going to provide that for you, okay? Even if you don't have a big database, still do it, right? Even if you have never done a giveaway. Guys, I am not a big giveaway, sweepstakes, survey type of marketer or salesperson, right? Even when I was, actively growing the brokerage, it wasn't necessarily something that I would think to do. But it works so well, and I mean this respectfully. Just get over it and try it. So, because the giveaway, it's a strong marketing strategy and it's fun. I don't have enough people to take the calls. All right, so this is a great problem, folks, to have if you got to call them back. Like, for example, when we had the 300 calls come in, we didn't have enough people to, enough agents and salespeople to take the phone calls, but we just called them back. It was just a chance to reach back out to them, right? And I don't have the tools to execute on that. Here's the thing. If you're like, well, I don't have a system like you're talking about that's going to send a text to emails and all this other stuff, I'm going to actually give you a free trial of my software so you can execute on this, right? So I'm going to show you how to do that here in a minute, all right? So rule number 1, you got to get their attention. You have to get their attention, folks. That's rule number 1. And this campaign does this. When it comes to marketing, rule number 1, have to get their attention. This is what they're going to do. You're going to get their attention. And then it's up to you to keep their attention, because what's going to happen is you're going to have a whole bunch of people that engage with the campaign now you got to follow up with. And that leads me into secret number 3. All right, it's the 7 steps. All right, and I'm running short on time, so I'm going to have to go quickly on this. All right, but the background on this is I used to really struggle bad in sales when I first got involved. I'd get sweaty, I'd get nervous, especially when I was prospecting over the phone. I went on, I liked sales a lot, so I kind of went on this binge of learning and reading and going to events, and I can't even tell you how much money I've spent on it. But I kind of came across this process, and I honed in on this one training in particular by Chet Holmes. He talked about the 7 steps in sales, and if you get these 7 steps down, you're going to absolutely crush it. And it really hit me. So I kind of took those 7 steps, reformatted it, and fit it to real estate. And it was a huge breakthrough. My conversion rates went up dramatically. It helped me get over the nervousness. It helped me not feel like I wanted to quit sales because I was just not good at it. And it's a huge reason, like I mentioned earlier in the conversation, of why I've had the success that I've had is because of these 7 steps. So what are they? It's simple, but don't take them for granted, because there's subsets of these. All right. So Mark Howell actually is one of my inside sales agents that I started working with a couple of years ago. Really great person. Did a great job of, he's very trustworthy, but he had trouble getting results. And so I put him through the 7-step process that we're there. We trained and coached, and he did so well. He actually started averaging like 10 listings a month from his own prospecting efforts going through this program. And now he's actually director of one of my divisions in my company, managing all the inside sales agents that I have that give appointments to our referral network. And the 7 steps are building rapport and qualifying, building value, creating urgency and desire, trial closing, overcoming objections, follow up, and tracking your metrics. And I know we're all like, Isaiah, that just seems simple. Like, that's kind of common knowledge. It is, but here's the deal. Building rapport and the art and science of building rapport and qualifying the right way, that isn't necessarily easy. It's simple, but not easy. How to truly build value and not just sound like every other agent is not easy, right? How to create urgency for people to work with you sooner than later without sounding pushy is not easy, right? How do you create the desire based on their pain and their motivation? And then how do you trial close without sounding like you're closing? How do you do it? And how do you enroll naturally so you don't have to get as many follow-ups, right? And then when you get that objection, how do you know what to say, when to say, how to say it, and who to say it to, given the type of personality you're working with, right? And then what are the most effective follow-up strategies that you can have, right? And then what are turnkey ways to track your metrics so you can get better? I have a 1-page document I'm going to give to you folks that actually not only outlines these 7 strategies, but the bullet points underneath them, there's actually subpoints of what you need to do with tone, pace, hesitation, modulation, how to come across authentic, all right? And I have a 1-page document. It's like a scorecard that you can use after each prospecting call, after each appointment, to actually take out and go out on, and work. And so you can kind of go over this scorecard, each prospecting call or each presentation that you do. And this was a savior to me because when I first got started, it was just me, right? And it was, like a lot of you, you're the same thing. You don't have anybody with you on a day-to-day to coach you or walk you through how to get better with your sales process. And even if you're successful in sales, right, and you've had some success because you're a natural talent, or you maybe went to 1 or 2, trainings along the line or whatever it may be, do you have a system in place to make sure that you're constantly sharpening your axe? So this scorecard is a very effective way. You can keep it right on your desk, and you can just ask. It's like an honest evaluation of how you're doing with each one of them. And this simple process, but very effective process, is so powerful. Don't take it for granted. I'm going to show you how to get to that in a minute. One highlight of this is I'm going to show you a 3-step process of actually how to overcome any single objection. You just plug the words in. The words are different, but this process is a 3-step process. No matter what objection you're getting, I'm going to show you how to overcome it. You're going to actually make prospecting somewhat fun because you're going to get so good at this. Okay. So in summary, okay, what I'm hoping that we got out of this is that you understand the power and the value of needing to build an effective sales and marketing plan. Okay, you understand the power of having campaigns like the 100 calls in one day, what that can do for you. And if you had a turnkey sales process to marry in with your plan, what it could do for your business and how you could go to the next level. So in summary, it's all about systems, people, process, and tools. You got to have unique campaigns, and you got to have a process so to make sure your leads convert. Because at the end of the day, if those 3 things aren't coming together, right, we're gonna have problems. And at the end of the day, my goal for you, all right, as rainmakers, as entrepreneurs, as real estate professionals, my goal for you is to is to build and scale your business. But here's the thing: it's not how much money you have; it's how much money you keep. So it's not just to build and scale your business to hit your goals, but to be profitable while you're doing it, right? And that's my goal for you, and that's what I've come up with. Is I've come up with a program here for you because I know I've probably just fire hosed you guys, right? You're like, oh my gosh, this is so much information, right? And I respect that. So what I've done is I've bottled everything up into a turnkey step-by-step system. It's an online course. It's called the Sales and Marketing Secrets Masterclass, and it walks you through in detail exactly what to do, how to do it, every step of the way. And it's a combination of 2 to 5 minute videos, along with over 100 pages of scripts, dialogues, listing presentations, infographics, a whole bunch of really other stuff that goes with it. And really there's so many powerful stories that come out of this. Amanda Hardesty, she got she reported $10 million in additional business after she went through this course and started applying some of the systems and strategies that I taught her. Okay. And who is this program for? It's a common question. It's for brokers, it's for team leaders, it's for agents. Okay. It's for everybody, because there's something in it, whether you're brand new, just getting started. Okay. It's going to give you the tools and what you need to do to do that. Or whether you're already successful, it's going to help you actually have a structure to teach to your team. And if you're a team leader, if you have a couple people on your team, does your team know what your unique value propositions are? Do they know? Do they have a turnkey flip book where they can flip through and know exactly what the marketing and sales efforts they should be doing every single day? Right? Imagine the power of what that can do. And here's the thing, with what I'm going to offer you, it's more than that. I'm actually going to offer opportunities for ongoing group coaching weekly. Right? If you've gotten anything out, from me here today, I'm just sharing with you the tip of the iceberg of my knowledge and education. I say that humbly, and what I can do to help you become a master at sales and marketing. All right. So I'm going to offer you group coaching opportunities to network with other agents that are using my strategies right now. I'm going to give you a free trial of the technology of how you can do this. Okay. And this is not what I'm going to charge you, but I need you to understand the value. And I'm going to make you an offer I think that's going to get you really, really excited, because it's going to be affordable for everybody. So hang on there with me, and then I'm going to show you how to actually get access to the free materials that I promised you at the end. Okay, no matter what. Okay, but basically between the sales, between the free trial of the coaching, the free trial of the master class, the master class that I'm going to provide you, right? It's a 6-week course and everything. It's easily over a $5,000 value. Okay, and in that you're going to get. Okay, you're going to get my prospecting playbook. Okay, you can actually buy it right now on Amazon for $18. There's every single script and dialogue in it for every type of lead. It actually has an in-depth breakdown on the sales training with the 7 steps in the front of it. There's an in-depth breakdown. I'm going to give you that. Okay, you're going to get infographics, done for you infographics. Okay, that actually you can use for posting. They're already built. They're centered around the 24 topics. You're going to get to 24 videos and postcards, okay? And most clients that actually work with me, they end up consolidating. And if you're maybe if you're more of a top producing agent or team leader listening right now, this especially applies to you. Literally, my software, okay, will save you, because you'll be able to do everything out of it. You'll literally never have to use another tool again. And most of my clients end up having to are able to kind of like go down to maybe like 1 or 2 systems they got to operate out of. And that technology fragmentation is killing your lead conversion, by the way. If you're listening to me right now, it's killing your lead conversion. Okay. All my strategies, by the way, are based on 42 different A/B tests, over 1 million postcards, 33 million prospecting calls between myself and my team. All right. And over 1 million ringless voicemails, 18 unique value propositions I'm going to provide you that have been tested, okay? 15 different scripts. I'm going to give you video scripts. I'm going to give you text scripts. I'm going to give you ringless voicemails. I'm going to give everything to you in this course. It's all part of what you're going to get, okay? I don't know about you guys, but like, have you ever been frustrated? Like, have you ever bought into a piece of technology or lead generation tool and found it like complex, and you just, because you didn't really have education to go along with it, you kind of like ran into a roadblock and you're like, screw it. Like, I'm not going to use it, right? Give me a shout out if you've ever run into that. Well, you won't run into that with me, because I understand that I'm not naturally, even though I own a technology marketing firm, I'm a marketing and sales guy. So anything I build, it's got to be simple enough for me to use it. And that's what you can be encouraged by, is you're going to have a step-by-step integration process. We're going to walk you through to hyper grow, to put your business into hyper growth. Okay, you're going to have buyer campaigns with all the emails in the language and the scripts all set up for you. You're going to have the seller campaigns. You're going to have recruiting campaigns all at your fingertips. Okay, if you want to master geo leads, if you want to master your SOI, I have a unique SOI program. If you want to master For Sale by Owners Expireds, it's all part of the training process. It's mapped out on video, step by step. I even go through every single objection on video and how to overcome them. I even teach you how to hire and train an ISA. If you want to ever hire your own ISA, it's all part of that. So all those marketing materials are included in there. So you got the masterclass, you got the software, you got the marketing materials, you got the GeoLead course that I told you about. What improving postcard strategies and messaging, right? So you're going to have that. And look here, like, I just want to let you guys know, in case you didn't notice, like, think about how much this cost me to build this, and how much time and energy it took me to put this together. And I'm gonna basically give it to you, put it at your fingertips, right? And I'm also going to give you 90 days of group coaching that are going to be included with this, no extra cost. And like I mentioned to you earlier, I'm going to give you a free trial of my software, so you're going to know. Here's my promise to you. You're going to have no hesitations. You're going to have the confidence. You're going to know what to say, when to say, how to say it, who to say it to. That's my promise to you. So you're going to get the GeoLeads on top of that, in addition to everything else. You're going to get the 100 calls in 1 day campaign. You're going to get that as well. Okay, and so literally, like, at the end of the day, folks, the total value on this program, what do you think it is? What would it be worth to you? Okay, right? Oh, by the way, I forgot about this. I'm going to also give you, as a bonus, the sales and marketing workbook. You're going to get the turnkey flip book as well. All right, that's going to be part of it as well. So it's a total value easily of $10,000 between everything. And here's the thing: if I'm going to give it to you for $499, okay? So for $499, I'm going to actually give you this program. All right. So I'm going to make a registration link here, because I have something here that I really just want to make this a no-brainer for you, because I'm just so convicted. I know there's a lot of programs out there, and so I'm so convicted. I just made a register. If you go to the right-hand side of your screen, it's going to say register here, okay? And it's going to show you how to sign up to it. I'm going to make this an absolute no-brainer, all right? So here's how I'm going to make it a no-brainer. Number one, for the first person on this webinar that signs up, and Clara, I want you to go into the back end of the office, so you let me know. But for the first person on this webinar that signs up, I'm actually going to give you 10,000 GeoLeads. Okay, you can pick your top 3 to 7 zip codes. All right, because I have access to GeoLeads across the nation. All right, as part of my firm, I'm going to give you 10,000 GeoLeads for the first person that signs up to this program. The next, and then let me go to my next slide here, okay? The next 9 people, I'm gonna give you 1,000 GeoLeads for the next 9 people that sign up, all right? And now, no matter where you're at, no matter if you're the number 1 or number 10 or 20 or 30, again, I want to eliminate all barriers, because I know there's a lot of programs out there. I'm very convicted that this is going to work for you. I'm going to offer you that if you go through my entire program and you make it through the whole program, and I want to be upfront about this, right? You can't dabble in it and then say you want your money back. But if you actually go through the whole program and you didn't get $499 in value, I'm going to actually give you 100% of your money back after you went through the whole program. I have a little ticker in the back. It shows me who's walking through my program, right? So there's 0 risk. So go to that button, register, be one of the first, and literally what we'll do is we'll give you those leads. Now, in addition to that, what I'm going to do is do some Q&A here. But one of the things I want to drill down a little bit more into how my software works, okay, during this Q&A, because the software is it's normally $97 a month, okay, and it includes the group coaching, but it also includes a CRM. The software includes, and it's a free trial. It's a free 30-day trial, okay, no obligation, nothing after that. And then it allows you to text, it allows you to email, it allows you to do video, it allows you to do everything that you need to from one place. You can manage your transactions. And it's actually, I'm partnered with LionDesk. Okay, I built my platform off of their platform. Some people like theirs. It's like LionDesk on steroids. Okay, And you get 10,000 video, emails, and texts actually along the way. All right. So one of the things that I really want to encourage you to do right now is go click on that order button, and I'm going to leave it open for questions, and it's all part of those. So to summarize, you're going to get everything I shared with you for $499 plus a free trial to group coaching for 90 days, along with the software for 30 days. Okay. To make sure that you can execute on this program. And I'm going to be there every Wednesday at 1:15, like clockwork. I do live workshops going through a different component of this, of a class that I offer to make sure that you guys are able to implement. All right. So I'm so glad that you guys decided to join me. I'm really excited. So I want to make sure I'm taking questions here along the way. One common question that I get is how long does it take to get through the class? That's a really good question. Basically, you do it at your own pace. I recommend about 6 weeks. Some people just nerd out on it and they just blitz through the entire course, and they just go crazy through the entire course. And you can do that, right? You can just go through it, but it's designed for the people that really just want to take like a half an hour in the morning and go through the course and just chip away at it is what it's designed to do. There's also kind of stopping points where you're going to want to implement some things before you move on. So it's completely up to you, but it's a step-by-step course. I try to keep each video training to under 8 minutes. Most of them are 2 to 5 minutes, but each video training throughout each section of the course is actually about 2 to 5 minutes. And again, I think one other common question is like, what is actually included within the course? Like, what could I expect? You're gonna have a detailed breakdown of the sales and marketing plan. Okay, you're gonna have not only a detailed breakdown of the sales and marketing plan. I'm gonna train you and walk you through the workbook. Okay, that you're gonna get for free. I'm gonna walk you through that. It's also gonna break down exactly how to use use software and making sure your campaigns are set up the right way. It's going to break down a detailed training on the 7 steps. There's a detailed breakdown on how to launch your 100 calls in a day program to make sure that gets launched the right way. There's detailed training on how to effectively launch a geo-targeted training program, right? So that's there. There's actually something called your Dream 100 advocacy program. I haven't talked a lot about that, but that's included in there too. It's really to build your SOI, where I'm going to teach you step by step on how you can be welcomed when you make a call to your SOI, not come across cheesy like, hey, this is Isaiah, I haven't talked to you in 6 years or 5 years, but just wondering how things are going and wondering if you have any needs in real estate. I'm going to actually teach you an effective process on how to feel really comfortable reaching out to people from your past client database and actually have them enjoy the phone call. I'm glad you called. I'm going to teach you a system how you can present value to them. All right, that's included. And so I kind of want to just end with this, folks. There's 2 different personalities, right, on this line. There's people that are like your go-getters. You say, look, even if I only implemented one thing that Isaiah is teaching here today, I'll get my return back. By the way, it's a money back guarantee. This is a no-brainer. So I want you to think about that. Like, even if you implemented one thing that I'm sharing with you out of everything that I'm providing you, what would that do for your business? Even if you felt confident, like, let's just talk about the 7 steps, right? Even if you felt more confident in your sales process, like, how would you feel where if you just felt confident in every single scenario, every single objection, right? Would you be more apt to pick up the phone and prospect more consistently? Right? Imagine how many more listings you'd land, right? With that confidence, that unwavering, shaking confidence, right? The number one thing salespeople that makes a great sales professional is unwavering confidence, right? Think about if you just implemented the 100 calls in one day part of the program, right? For like Ben, cost him less than $300, and he actually made $600,000 in sales right off the bat, not including any money he's following up with, right? So we're winding down on time here. We have a ton of people ordering right now. Register now. You have nothing absolutely zero risk. Okay. You're going to have a great experience. We're going to learn together. We're going to grow together. We're going to get to know each other. Right. I love doing what I do. I'm very passionate about it. I can't wait to get to know you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. And here's the thing. This is a chance for you to be a doer, right? This is a chance to not just be a dabbler and sit on an awesome webinar and get a couple of golden nuggets, but it's a chance for you to take your business to the next level. And I'm going to kind of leave you with something that I learned actually at a Tony Robbins event. I actually walked on coals. Has anyone ever been to one of Tony Robbins' events, by the way? Anybody? I've been to pretty much all his events. And there was one, Awakening the Power Within You, I think was what the name of the event was. And I actually walked on coals. And it was a really freaking crazy experience. But one of the things that he said actually in a different seminar that was kind of associated with the same event, but he said success leaves clues. And it's a simple phrase, but it's true, is to be successful, right? You have to find what people have done to be successful. So my clients don't end up getting those type of returns because by accident, right? There's a system they're following, right? My company didn't grow at 1,500% by accident. There were specific things that were happening. And I want to encourage you, it's the same thing here, is that if you want to take your business to the next level, and I would challenge even the team leaders. I know there's some really successful entrepreneurs on the line with me right now. I want to challenge you. What are you doing with your database right now? Right? And I mean that in a loving way. Okay. What are you doing to draw business from your database right now? Do you have a sales and marketing plan, or are your leads just sitting there? And I don't expect you to do it on your own, but you got to have a shortcut. I'm going to give you that shortcut. I'm going to give you that turnkey process, that shortcut on actually how to make a ton of money, how to cash in on your most precious asset. Okay. And it actually brings me to a story that changed my life forever, guys. And I'm going to leave you with this. It changed everything for me when I was really at a low point in my business, very, very low point. And some of you, including me, we got to make adjustments right now. We're going through contraction. There's a lot of chaos happening with the coronavirus, right? We have to do something different. There's two different personalities. The one that's going to come out of this, and they're going to take this kind of downtime, and they're going to use this time to retool, readjust, and build a powerful plan to come out and crush it. And I want to leave you the story. I don't know if anyone's ever read Acres of Diamonds before, okay? But when I first came across this, it really hit me. See, most of us think the new, this new opportunity is actually right at your fingertips. I'm providing to you. But most people think it's outside. It's somewhere, that success is somewhere far away, or somewhere across the land, or somewhere over the fence, or maybe some of you are even doubting real estate right now, right? So, and we have these thoughts going on in our head. And it brings me back to the story that I read in the book Acres of Diamonds, and it was about an African farmer who discovered millions of dollars on his land, but he didn't know it when he bought it. And what happened was the farmer before that previously owned it got caught up in the California gold rush, and he decided to sell his land. And basically what ended up happening was he sold his land for like dirt, like nothing. And he went out to California, and he ended up losing everything, by the way, because he didn't find gold, and he pretty much risked it all. And the farmer that actually bought the land was walking around with one of his good friends, and his good friends bent over into a creek, and he saw this shiny object. And the farmer said to him, the guy asked him, what is this? He goes, oh, I don't know. It's like a ruby or something, he goes, guy, like, these are diamonds. He goes, well, okay. Well, they're all over. They're like all over this creek. Like they're everywhere. And literally millions of dollars sitting in his backyard. And that simple story hit me so hard, is that so many times we think that we just need something that we don't have. And I want to encourage you, success is at your fingertips. It's actually right in front of you. What you need is in your sphere. It's in your database. It's in your backyard, folks. What you need to be successful, you own right now. And I don't care if your sphere is small. Okay. In my program, I teach you a strategy where literally with 200 to 300 names or less, how you can generate 30 to 40 transactions a year from having a sphere of 200 people. So with that, folks, I love real estate. I want to thank you for giving me your time. I hope I've provided the value that you expected when you got on here. And you can interact with us, and keep in touch. If you want to learn more and know about us, I actually have a private Facebook group called Rainmaker Mastermind Group. Clara, if you're still listening, if you could post that up. Rainmaker Mastermind Group. If you want to stay in touch, you can join that group. All my coaching clients are also in that group. We go live every day. We prospect live every day. So feel free to join that group. Also, too, you can interact if you want to learn more about the technology that I offer, that I have. You can go to realestatenexus.io. That's realestatenexus.io. All right. And you can check us out there. If you're like, hey, I love this, but I have more questions before I buy, I just want to talk to somebody one-on-one, I have a team standing by. All right. At this point, all my special promotions are gone. But if you're like, hey, look, I'm still interested, you can actually set up a strategy session. All right. You can go to 10xmylistings.com. You can go to 10xmylistings.com and you can set up a free consultation. If you're just like, hey, look, I love what he's talking about. What are my options? Maybe I'm looking for more of a done for you type of approach. Okay. You can do that as well. With that, Isaiah Colton. All right. This is your Sales and Marketing Secret podcast and webinar here that we're running. Hope you guys had an awesome time. Thank you. Have a great day.